So hi guys, welcome to Purely Cars. I am Colin Sogbona and today we are at Chrisfield Autos, and the car we'll be reviewing today is quite special to my heart. We've reviewed the predecessor to this particular car before, the 2011 Lexus IS250. We reviewed that a few months ago, but today we'll be looking at the 2015 Lexus IS250 F Sport. Now this is the rear-wheel drive version of that car, and it's similar in a sense, but Lexus did a few things to make that car a little bit more beautiful and a little bit more attractive to anybody who wants that specific car. So as before, it's a very driver-focused car that can also achieve a level of comfort and luxury. So dive in with me today as we review the 2015 Lexus IS F Sport. And then we'll be starting from the front end of this car, and I must say that they did an excellent job of making this car a lot more frisky than the first one. Now, first of all, you have this oversized spindle grille on the front of the car, and that is Lexus's trademark design feature. And then you have this very weird but cool looking LED headlights on the front here, and it's a samurai style. You know that Lexus like to incorporate samurai design into their car, so it shows in the headlight, it shows in this oversized grille. And not only is the grille oversized, but then the spoilers on the front of this car is exceptionally large. And another thing I realized is, in case you want to tune up this car, in case you want to bring out more power out of this car, you can actually add in more radiators and more fans here, because you have a lot of space on the front and you have a lot of openings. So this car has the capacity to create a lot more horsepower, not just for the tires and the drivetrain, but if you want to add in more fans and more radiators, you have front space here on the front. Now, it's a very delicate balance between a sporty design and an elegant design, and I must say that it's right on the edge of looking too sporty, but I'm sure a lot of the people who buy the IS anyway love that, and that is exactly why they want the IS, because it looks special and it looks sporty. In terms of beauty, this is one of the most beautiful cars that is around, and in Lexus range, especially for 2015. And when I say beautiful, I mean compared to everything out there. This car is just as aggressive looking as a BMW would be. It's almost as elegant as a Mercedes-Benz, but it's nothing compared to the subtlety of the Audi. So in that sense, you see that this car is almost comparable with, you know, the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, the BMW 3 Series, and it's nothing like the Audi. But then let's be frank, the BMW and the Mercedes-Benz are the two cars that people go after anyway. So you have here a car that looks absolutely beautiful, but at the same time packs a lot of reliability and repairability that people expect from Lexus. On the side profile of this car, the theme of the aggressive design continues. You have a very strong line moving from the front of the car to the rear side of the car, and at the rear side of the car you have these very aggressive side skirts, and it's just quite cool. One of the most interesting things of this car is the dynamic stance of the 2015 Lexus IS, right? It's a lot wider than the ones before, it's a lot longer, and it's a little lower when it comes to its stance, and this gives it that very aggressive design. So the side lines of this car makes it look a little bit wider, which might not be to the liking of a lot of people, because one of the reasons why people buy the IS anyway is because it's a small and compact car, but this is a lot bigger than the one before. The good thing about that is that you can accommodate a lot of people in the interior of the car, but the bad thing about that is that for those of us who like to drive aggressively, it's a lot more hard to place the car right where you want it to be. Right, so let's dive into the drivetrain of this car. Now this car, this specific one, which is the IS250 F Sport, now this one is powered by a V6 2.5 liter V6 engine, making 202 horsepower. Now for a V6, that's not a lot of power, but since this car is no longer using the CVT from the last one, it's using a proper torque converter 6-speed transmission, that the transmission is able to make as much use of the power on offer as it can. Now this particular drivetrain is the railway version of this car, but you have two specifications as all IS usually have. You have all-wheel drive and you have rear-wheel drive. This is the rear-wheel drive version of this car. So you have a 2.5 liter V6 connected to a 6-speed gearbox. That gearbox is connected to a rear-wheel drive chassis. That means that all the power the engine is making is being transferred to the back wheels. That gives you a very sporty drive. Now this is one of Lexus's first attempts at a adaptive chassis control. What that means is that the car itself has 3 settings, right? You have comfort mode, you have the normal mode, and then you have the sport mode. Now for a car that has 4 doors, 4 seats, and able to take about 5 individuals, that must be a very beautiful thing to experience, you know. But we won't be driving this car today, but I can only imagine how exciting it to be to put the power down and to see how this car moves. Now for 0 to 60 time, you have 8.1 seconds from 0 to 60, and this car has a top speed of about 143 miles an hour. Now where it gets special, that is the F Sport. The F Sport is a special edition for this car, and it comes with better brakes, it comes with fine-tuned suspension. So for those individuals such as myself that doesn't just buy a car because you can carry people or for transportation, but buy a car for the feel of driving, the F Sport is the one you want to buy. Now let's come to the interior aspect and how does it make me feel. Now this car is very low into the chassis. The seat is low, but you have enough headroom when you're sitting in the car so that taller passengers can actually have a good time in here. You have sunroof up here so that you have a lot of light coming into the car, so you have excellent visibility out of the windshield. The steering wheel is small and superb, and then you have paddle shifters when you want to shift gears yourself. The 2015 IS250 has 2 displays. You have one here and you have another one back there. Now this one is a fully digital screen that you can connect and you can control with the buttons here. And when it comes to controlling the infotainment screen, things like entertainment, maps and stuff, you have a trackpad here that you can use to control the functions on this display. But one of the things I've realized is that this is kind of hard to control when you're driving, because sometimes the trackpad doesn't go where you want it to go and it's going somewhere entirely different, so it can be very distracting when you are driving, especially when you're driving fast. So oftentimes I think that the best way to control the system is on the steering wheel, and you have seat heating for the driver's seat and another one for the passenger seat. Here you have your controls for things like air conditioning and the sort. At the same time, you have your CD control right here, and here you have your air conditioning control, and here you have your screen. Now this is where the start stop button is. It's actually in a very cool position. That is the same position that they put it in the LFA supercar. Now as I said before, the interior appointment is quite cool in here. Now for the aspect of safety, this car is packed full with safety features like automatic braking, you have airbags everywhere, and then you have cruise control here. Every single thing that you might need to have a beautiful car. You have keyless entry, so as soon as you come close to the doors, the car senses the key in your hand and it opens the car. You have start stop, and you have every single thing that you need to have a comfortable drive in this car. Now let's talk about conclusions. Who is this car meant for? Now this car is one of those cars that have dual personalities, right? You can have it in comfort if you want, and you can drive ridiculously fast if you want. By ridiculously fast, I mean, you know, as much as your talents can carry you and as much as the road can carry you. So this car is that car for people who need space, right? They want to get a sports car, but they don't want the impracticality that one. They still want the big boots. They still want every single thing that they need in their car, but they still want something fast. So a very nice balance between the sportiness and the practical aspect. Now, for the fact that this car has a V6 doesn't mean that it's not fuel efficient, right? So this is one of Lexus's most efficient engine that they dropped in here. So though you have a V6, though you have over 200 horsepower, you still have good efficiency, which is quite nice. So for those people who need something that is not a C-Class, they don't want a 3 Series, they want a car that is still within their budget when it comes for maintenance, this is one of the best cars that you can buy. And thank you for staying on this review. You can like, share and comment. If there is any question or anything I forgot to address in this video, you can always ask us personally and we would reply your comments or your questions. So thank you for watching. God bless you.